The Jar of Time. Once upon a time, there was a wise teacher who wanted to teach his students about the importance of time management. He brought out a large jar and filled it with rocks, filling it to the top. He then asked his students, "Is the jar full?" The students looked at the jar and replied, "Yes, the jar is full." The teacher then took out a bag of smaller pebbles and poured them into the jar. The pebbles filled in the gaps between the rocks until the jar was full once again. He then asked his students, "Is the jar full now?" The students hesitated and then replied, "Yes, the jar is full now." The teacher then took out a bag of sand and poured it into the jar. The sand filled the tiny gaps left between the pebbles until the jar was full once again. He then asked his students, "Is the jar full now?" The students thought carefully and then replied, "Yes, the jar is full now." The teacher then asked his students, "What does this jar teach us about time management?" One of the students replied, "The jar teaches us that if we fill our time with big and important tasks first, we can always find time for smaller things later. But if we fill our time with small, unimportant tasks first, we won't have time for the bigger and more important things later." The teacher smiled and said, "Exactly. It's important to prioritize our time and focus on the big rocks first. These are the things that matter most in our lives, like spending time with our loved ones, pursuing our passions, and working towards our goals." The pebbles and sand represent the smaller things, like running errands, checking emails, and watching TV. They are important, but they can wait. The students nodded in understanding and realized the importance of prioritizing their time. From that day on, they started to focus on the big rocks first and manage their time more efficiently. This story teaches us the skills of prioritization and time management in a simple and effective way. It motivates us to focus on the things that matter most in our lives and to use our time wisely. It inspires us to be more intentional with our time and to make the most of every moment.